counting sheep when you're trying to sleep, being fair when there's something to share, when you know how much money you owe. That's mathematics.
In this lesson, we are going to look at how to multiply fractions and mixed numbers. Believe it or not, multiplication is essential to get down before we go on to division, addition, or subtraction. First, let's review a little terminology related to fractions. The top number in the fraction is the numerator, and the bottom number is the denominator. So in the fraction 4/5, 4 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator. One thing that is important to remember is that fractions are really just division problems. Here we're dividing 4 by 5. An improper fraction is one where the numerator is greater than the denominator. In other words, its value is greater than 1, like the fraction 7/5. A mixed number has a whole number part and a fractional part, as in 3 and 7/9. Throughout our work with fractions, we're going to need to be able to convert between these two. So let's see how. To convert 7/5 into a mixed number, we need to divide 7 by 5. Since 5 goes into 7 one time, 1 is the whole number portion of the mixed number. The remainder is 2. So 2 is the numerator of the fractional portion. Notice that the denominator is still 5, and we have the mixed number 1 and 2/5. To convert 3 and 7/9 into an improper fraction, we need to think about converting the 3 into ninths. So we consider what number divided by 9 would equal 3. It would be 27. Now we can rewrite 3 and 7/9 as 27/9 and 7/9, or 27/9 plus 7/9. This gives us a total of 34/9. A quick way to do this is just to multiply the denominator by the whole number portion and add the numerator. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 7 is 34. So how do we multiply fractions? To multiply fractions like these, 4/5 times 2/3, we need to multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. Here we multiply 4 by 2 and 5 by 3. This gives us our answer, 8/15. Let's look at another example. To multiply 2/9 times 17/2, we need to multiply the numerators, 2 by 17, and the denominators, 9 by 2. This gives us the answer, 34/18, but we're not done yet. First, notice that 34 and 18 are both even, so they have a common factor of 2 and can be reduced down to 17/9. Also, notice that our answer is an improper fraction. In some cases, it might be okay to leave the answer like this, but we can convert it into a mixed number. 9 goes into 17 once with a remainder of 8, so our final answer is 1 and 8/9. Now, you may not have noticed initially that we could reduce 34/18, but if we look back at the original problem, there is one thing we can do to simplify this process a little bit. There is a 2 in the numerator of the first fraction and a 2 in the denominator of the second fraction. Because we're multiplying, we can reduce that 2/2 to 1. And all we have left is 17/9, which still equals 1 and 8/9. I like to refer to this as reducing before we multiply. If you see any common factors in the numerators and denominators, you can reduce them before you do any multiplication. Let's see how easy reducing before we multiply can make a problem. Consider 6/7 times 2/3 times 14/3. If we just multiplied the numerators and denominators, we would get 168/63, which would probably be a challenge to reduce. So let's reduce before we multiply instead. If we saw the 6 as 2 times 3, and we see the 14 as 2 times 7, we have a common factor of 3 and a common factor of 7 that we can cancel out to 1s. Now we just need to multiply the 3 2's that are left in the numerator and bring over the 3 left in the denominator to get our completely reduced answer, 8/3. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and 1 times 3 is 3. Finally, 3 goes into 8 2 times with a remainder of 2, so we can write the improper fraction 8/3 as the mixed number 2 and 2/3. For our final example, let's see how we should handle multiplying with a mixed number, 3 1/5 times 5/8. Before we can multiply, we need to convert 3 1/5 into an improper fraction. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So we have 16/5 times 5/8. Now we can reduce and multiply. 16 and 8 are both divisible by 8. So if we cancel this 8 out, we have a factor of 2 left over in the numerator because 2 times 8 would have given us the 16. We can also cancel out the 5's. Now that we've reduced everything we can, the 2 in the numerator is the only thing that didn't cancel out to a 1. So we just have a 2 times 1 in the numerator and a 1 times 1 in the denominator. This simplifies to 2/1, which equals 2.